You're listening to the Spotless Podcast, where cleanliness is always next to podliness. Now, here are your hosts, Hannah Brooks Olson and Andrew Walsh.
I'm coming about due to need to wash my dog, but I don't want to do it because with that task comes other things that then I have to clean as well. I have to do laundry after I wash the dog because it takes at least 3 towels to get her dry. Mm-hmm. I have to clean the tub out. I have to maybe clean the drain out. I myself often require a shower afterwards because wrestling the dog into the tub is sweaty work. Andrew, have you bathed your dog yet?
We gave Lucy her inaugural bath about maybe a month ago. Now, I should note that Lucy is growing in leaps and bounds. So even though she seemed big the last time I gave her a bath, I think she's at least 10 pounds bigger now. Last time we weighed her, she was like 35 pounds. And that was, I think, at least a week or two ago. So she might be getting, closer to 40 now. And so she's like really turning into a real dog, as we say. And so, the first time we did it, it went okay. I mentioned to you on the show before we even knew for sure that we were getting a dog, but we're just sort of thinking a lot about it. I was saying it would be really fun to have a dog who likes to take baths because I like cleaning things, and I love a clean smelling dog, And
yeah.
Contrarily, one of the only things I don't like about some dogs is when you go to pet somebody's dog, like, oh, yeah. good boy, good girl, whatever, and then you take your hand, you put it up to your face, because that's what I do a lot, and it's like, oh, I got that dog smell. And I think some dogs are just like that, probably longer-haired dogs, certain breeds are just more like that, but I find that to be incredibly unpleasant, so I never wanted a dog that would be like that, so I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a dog that likes to take baths, and she'll have that clean smell all the time. I'll be honest with you. We gave her a bath. It wasn't the kind of arduous process that you described with Lola. She was okay with it, but still kind of scared.
Sure.
Just trying to figure it out. Still trying to figure a lot of things out at that
that
phase.
Age,
so we'll the jury is still out about how much she's going to like or dislike baths, but it wasn't also like, oh, thank goodness I'm doing this. You've made my day.
Yay, I love it. Yeah, sometimes do. I've heard some dogs do.
But here's the thing that I found the most surprising about this. We gave her the bath. It was Genevieve and I did it together. At the time we did it in her bathroom, I think it was a little bit more difficult. I think from now on we'll do it down in the basement, where I have a bathtub that might be a little bit more forgiving for the task. But the thing that surprised me the most was we got done. We dried her off. That's my favorite part, kind of drying her off or whatever. She's trying to play with the towel. I'm like, oh, you little puppy. And I'm, and then you give her a big kiss on the top of your head. And you're like, you don't smell all that different, to be honest with you. I envisioned a dog, because I know that I have smelled dogs after they get back from a grooming or something. I'm just like, oh, you smell so clean.
What did you wash her in?
Fresh. It was like mulch. It was like kind of like mulch and worms that I found in the backyard.
That'll do it.
No, I don't know. It was some sort of dog-friendly shampoo that a friend had given us because her dog didn't like it or something.
So I bought at one point, listeners might recall, I think it was 2 summers ago, Lola had a real field day rolling in some figs in our yard. Ugh. And she had stains, and she's a black and white cookies and cream kind of dog. But her coat was so off color, and I was like, do they make like purple shampoo for humans that helps tone your hair and makes your hair like whiter, and like do they, because it offsets the yellow tones? And several listeners called in or emailed or sent me a note that said, yes, they do. So I went into our dog store that we go to for everything, and I asked them if they had something like that, like a whitening shampoo for dogs. And especially, I think, like little white dogs, people like their little white dogs to be really white.
Oh, yeah.
And so they had one, and I got it, and I liked the way it smelled. Keith hated the way it smelled. It had some sort of like essential oil in it or something that he could not stand, and it was so fragrant that it would stay on her fur. And I liked it.
He hates lavender. Was it lavendery?
I think I specifically got not lavender because I know he hates lavender. I think it had maybe sandalwood or cedar smell. It just kind of smells like cedar.
Yeah,
I think maybe.
Those are what is the word for it? Almost I'm going to use my word for it, which is going to sound very childish, but like almost a stingy kind of smell. Not necessarily bad, but like that cedar smell that is almost like a sharp smell as opposed to a round.
In perfuming, they call it screechy. When scents are
really,
screechy.
that's actually perfect.
That is actually the word that they use.
Very evocative. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of screechy. It's you might not dislike it, but it's kind of like it could like in an extreme form, it could almost make your eyes water, as opposed to like a very round floral kind of smell.
Correct.
Screechy.
Screechy.
Yeah. I can see that.
As opposed to like warm or woody, which is like a woody scent that you actually like. So yes, it was a screechy scent. We finally went through all of it, and I told Keith, I was like, this is the last time she's going to smell like this. But it is true, your dog's fur will hold on to fragrance. So if you get a lot of dog shampoos are either not fragrance or lightly fragrance because like the things in fragrance can be really irritating. But some of them will use like essential oils and stuff. And it does depend on your dog's coat whether or not they really hold the smell. You know, like some people's hair really, their conditioner smell is like in there, right? And some people's aren't. But you can also, you can buy like fur mist like that you can, put on your dog if you want them to smell like something.
And the most important thing is that she is happy and comfortable too. I don't need her to be like,
Well, they make like fur conditioner basically that is like good for their coat, and sometimes that has a fragrance. So she got out of the bath and she just smelled the same.
Yeah, listen, it was a good experience, I think, for us to do that and for her to do that. It was important to me that she had a bath kind of early on to get used to it. Also, while she was a little bit smaller, because she is going to grow into be a rather large dog, I would guess. Now she's slowing down a little bit, so we don't know where she's going to end up, but at least 40, if not 50 pounds, which is probably medium sized. But she was okay with it. You had told me that she might get zoomies. That was another thing I want to mention when you were talking about how it's a little bit of a task. Does Lola get the zoomies after the bath time?
Yes. And she specifically very much would like to go outside and re-filth herself.
Oh, interesting.
Which is why she has to wear her little bathrobe after her bath. I put her little bath towel robe on her, and then I let her go outside, and so the bath towel robe gets quite gross.
Interesting. Yes. She's trying to get. She's like.
She's like, no, I smell bad. This is wrong. I need to smell like grass, and so she goes outside and rolls in the grass.
Very interesting, and that makes so much sense for an animal that belongs in nature, right?
Yeah, she likes it.
I'm not going to be, walking through the wild smelling like I just got out of a salon. I need to smell. I need like Predator. Like the only way you can hide from Predator is by putting mud all over your body. You know this.
I do it all the time to avoid becoming prey. And also, it's the same thing that like dogs love to roll on dead things. Like they'll find like a dead rat or something in the grass and they want to go in on it. Like dogs love a dead thing.
Yeah. That's rough.
So their feelings about what smells good is different than ours. So did Lucy get zoomies?
So she got maybe a little zoomy. I don't know. She's a puppy, so it's a little bit hard to tell. Like it wasn't especially increased, but I'm glad we did it. But here, let's fast forward to like I don't know earlier this week, which is again maybe a month after we gave her a bath. Genevieve had mentioned, and I was kind of surprised that Genevieve mentioned it because I thought I'd be more attuned to this. She's like, I think she might be getting a little stinky. We should maybe give her another bath. I'm like, okay, let's do that. And we still haven't done that yet. But then about 2 days ago, I was out kind of in my tree lawn area, letting her kind of sniff around and use the bathroom or whatever. She's on a leash, and my neighbors are walking by, and they have a dog of their own, Bruno, and I love them, and they really like dogs, and they've been really sweet with Lucy, and are excited that we have a puppy or whatever. It's interesting how having this dog has introduced me to so many more neighbors, and it's gotten me like just meeting a lot of people in my neighborhood. Yes. But Diane and Frank, for whatever it's worth, they're a bit older than me, maybe. Oh, I know for a fact that they I think Diane just mentioned something about like having a big 70th birthday party with a bunch of her classmates or something. So they're like a generation older than me. All of that is to say, Frank bends down to say hello to Lucy just again a couple of days ago after we had said we got to give her a bath, and he said, "Oh, she smells so good." And I was like, "Oh, that's funny that you should say that. I thought we need to give her a bath." He's like, "No, she just smells like puppy." So like she just still has that kind of popcorny, not popcorny, but whatever that
Fritos.
smell is.
Yeah,
Fritos. Yeah.
Smell so good. I think it was one of the first things I asked you when you sent me a picture. I was like, does she smell amazing? It's like baby humans. Like they smell great. Yes, puppies do they have a great smell.
So that made me feel better, at least. And also, we give her these dental treats that she likes to chew on, because sometimes when she smells, you're like, oh, wait, that's maybe your breath.
Yeah, that's true. Does she eat carrots?
Should she?
Well, carrots can also sometimes make their breath better. So.
Better? Okay, I'll try that.
Only if and some dogs also just like them. I mean, carrots are good for them. They can work on them,
It's funny how I think I already maybe mentioned this to you, but when we first had Lucy, again, I'm somebody who never had a dog in my life. In fact, grew up pretty afraid of dogs. And so here we are with this little life in our hands, right? She was so small when we got her, and I don't know anything. And I know that your dog loved apples, right? Love apples, and I loved seeing all the photos of him eating apples. And so I knew that dogs eat fruit. And my search history was everything was can dogs blank and can dogs eat blank. And I'd be out in the yard with her on a leash trying to get her to go to the bathroom, and she's picked up a stick or bark. Can dogs eat bark? Can dogs eat whatever? And then the one day I was in the kitchen, I was making a fruit salad or something, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, dogs like fruit. And I'm have grapes there. And did I tell you this? And then I Google, can dogs eat grapes?
No
and
grapes.
the internet, a cage fell from the sky and fell around me, an alarm went off, and it says, do not. So I was like, my God, I'm so glad I checked that. I still don't think I've given her any produce, honestly, after that, because it's why would an apple be good and a grape bad? I mean, I think it's a kidney thing, but there are reasons for this, but it's I'm kind of a little bit scared to do anything outside of dog food.
Dogs can eat a lot of things, but there's also a lot of things they can't, or that they could eat but just are hard on their guts. The main things not to feed dogs: onions, and grapes,
and chocolate,
and
chocolate, or anything with
chocolate.
caffeine.
And anything with caffeine. They just can't handle it. But onions and grapes are kind of the raisins, anything in that front.
When she was young, I was refilling I had this giant bag of coffee beans, and I was putting it in one of those to-go soup containers, so easier access or whatever. And I was doing that in the kitchen, and a bunch of them spilled all over the floor. And here's Lucy, the little puppy, I want to eat all these things on the floor. I'm like, get away from there! I was in an action film, throwing myself between her and the coffee beans, because I don't know how many coffee beans before you have to call 911. I
have dropped my own medication on the ground before, and the speed with which I hit the floor, just
yes. And also, I know that Genevieve's family, it's one of those. It's a friend of the family or something has some sort of horror story that keeps on being told as a warning. Is it acetaminophen or is it it's just any kind of a pain reliever, right? Are really bad for them if they
if they're the ones that are
those up.
Yeah, especially the ones that your vet doesn't give you.
So anyway, I'm always on the lookout. But if she likes carrots, I'd love to get that. You know what she likes, and I'm sorry that we will come back to cleaning, and I want to revisit the idea of bath time too. But this is related, maybe not to cleaning, but certainly something that's been discussed a lot on this show. And my God, makes me feel so proud to have Daddy's little girl. My girl loves ice. My girl. Oh wait, have we already talked about that?
No, but
yes,
I love
she
it.
hears me because I have obsessed over. I have these many of these special round ice makers, but not automatic. I got to make it myself. But they're trays. They're not the giant whiskey size. I obsess over making ice in this house. I overload my drinks with ice. I feel the most important ingredient in a gin and tonic is actually the ice. You need the right amount of ice. I am obsessed with ice, and I now have a dog. When she hears me getting ice, my little ice balls out of the ice tray in the freezer, the clunking sound of those things, I hear her tags come jingling from wherever she is. Is it ice time? And then I'll give her an ice ball, and she'll take it somewhere and hold it between her two paws and it'll work. She loves ice so much. I'm like, sweetie, we are family now.
I birthed this dog. Yeah.
Yes.
So first of all, that is great, because when it gets hot and you're worried about them hydrating,
Yeah.
If your dog will eat ice, like, good, great.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
that is
She loves it.
wonderful. And also, ice is really fun. You can, like,
Yeah.
slide it across the floor. You can, like,
Yeah.
play with it. It doesn't make a mess, right?
Yeah. Or
how
a
fun is
limited
that?
amount of mess. Like sometimes I put it down, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a little bit of a mess,
like
but
water.
like whatever, it's not too
Okay,
bad.
so you mopped. Good
It's
job.
water. Yeah, exactly. Also, she's teething now, so I think it might be good on her gums and stuff. As she's like, you can just
100%,
see.
yes.
That's one thing I try to think about too when she's like kind of acting like real barky or something like that. I'm just like, also, whatever you're going through is like, I remember the feeling of teeth coming in and wanting to like that feeling. Just like, oh, that's also just going on with you constantly right now. What an awful feeling.
Cutting teeth, growing in general. I mean, you remember like your body change. I mean, she's gonna go have hormone changes. Like that's a whole thing. Yeah, it's
gracious.
Growing up is hard. Being a puppy's hard.
Anyway, do you have any more advice? I know we've talked about this on the show a little bit. You have your kind of life hack for getting Lola, who actively dislikes having a bath or a shower, is you have one of those suction cup treat things that you can kind of like put frozen yogurt in or peanut butter and then suction cup it to the side of the tub or shower wall or whatever, and then she can like kind of lick that directly. We need to get one of those. We have one that sits on the floor that she uses daily, but I need to get that suction cup action because that might help Lucy. Lucy's a big fan of peanut butter. Any other advice?
I mean, get the towels close by, have everything set up. I try not to run the water while she's in the tub because I think she doesn't like the sound of the water going.
So you get water in the tub and then you just pick her up and drop her in?
I pick her up and drop her in, and then her feet get wet. So I like to soak her feet because I do feel like her paws are really big, and so I like having her standing in the water to get the toes cleaner.
Yes.
And then having the shower head. The Extendo shower head is a very big
That's how you
help.
rinse her, because that's what we were doing too. But Genevieve was a little concerned that she was like, maybe next time we should just get like a pitcher of water or something, because
it's so long.
That's what I thought too. But I think we just need to get her used to the shower, because both of our showers have detachable shower heads. But she did seem that was the thing that she seemed a little bit, if she was apprehensive about anything, it was like kind of that aspect of it. And we have single. What do you call the handle where you decide how hot or cold it's going to be?
Yeah.
We don't have like hot and cold. We have one that you have to like kind of turn on and then adjust the water, and we don't have time to like kind of get the temperature perfectly right, and you can't control the pressure. You know what I mean? If I had like a hot and a cold, I could control the pressure and temperature better.
Well, and I think to the on my shower head, I change the settings when I'm washing her to like. Instead of like the rainfall setting, I have it like a little more targeted so that I can, and which I know seems counterintuitive, but it's because it takes less time to get her all the way wet. And so my shower thing, we talked about this on the show a long time ago when I got the Extendo, the like handheld shower, because I bought it from that company Spruce that makes like
I remember that.
Like renter friendly, easy installation ones.
And you're still liking that? By
I do.
The way. It's held
and
up.
it has an on-off button on it, which is
I
really
love that.
handy because
like
you can
hose.
Spray, turn it off with your finger, set the head down, do your stuff, spray, rinse.
Yeah.
And I turned it up to like a little bit pointier and like more concentrated because it's less time that I spend spraying her because her coat's pretty thick, and so I can just like soak her faster than if I'm doing the like gentle rainfall. So I think and at this point she's like, I don't care, I have my little peanut butter lick. Like she doesn't love it, but it's fine.
She's pretty used to it. Yeah, I think we should do it more just to get her, kind of make it a regular part of our routine.
Yep. And if it comes with a high value treat, like that's really helpful. And you just, and then afterwards, you get to like towel and play and
And she also, I'm trying to, so she wears her harness all the time. Genevieve and I are starting to disagree a little bit. I mean, very lightly, but like she wakes up in the morning, we put the harness on her and she goes to the bathroom right away. And then she basically keeps the harness on until the last going to the bathroom at night, which when she was a puppy, it made sense to me. But more and more, I'm like, I don't know. It'd be nice to get her out of this harness at times. It just sort of feels like it could be itchy under there. She seems fine with it, but I'm starting to take it off a little bit more and more in the evenings. But like when we finally took that harness off to give her a bath, it was one of the first times I'd seen her without her harness in so long. It was nice just to towel her off and give her scritches. Is there any rule of thumb about like, are we over harnessing?
You might want to switch to a collar if you want her to have her tags on.
Yeah.
You can have her have Jessica. I mean, Lola is
She's
in
got
the
a
nude.
collar at all the time. Oh,
Lola's
really?
a nudist. Lola doesn't wear anything.
Really?
Around the
What
house.
if she? And you just trust that if she gets out off the property or whatever,
If she gets off the property, she's not going anywhere. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
But Indy was always he never wore anything. He didn't have a
no
collar.
collar.
Or anything.
Oh,
no.
interesting.
We had dogs who wore their collars all the time and have their little jingle jangle.
Yeah.
So the harness, the main thing is that if it rubs up underneath their armpits for too long, they can get a little fatty lipoma, like a little fatty deposit. Like that's a thing that can happen. And they can get a little rash under there too, or just like some discomfort. So I'd say the halter probably is too much for just around the house.
That's what
if you want her to have her
yeah.
tags on, get her a collar.
She's got both. She's got a collar
she doesn't
and a
need both
harness.
around the house. That's too much.
Yeah.
That's a hat on a hat. That's a belt and suspender situation.
Well, keep in mind, we were also, every time we took her out in the
Sure.
yard for a while, even though we're fenced in, she was so small and squirrely and everything
Right.
that we'd have to keep her on a leash. And so it's not quite like that anymore. I would never let her outside of our yard without a leash. There's too much terrible traffic and stuff around here.
Yeah.
And also, she's a good girl, but she just is not mastering the art of coming when she's called, which is like one of the most important things.
Yes. And once she is like more trained up like that and she can just be in the yard without a leash, like which she probably will be able to get to. The recall thing is, you just train that on the leash. Like just, say your name, give a little tug and give a snack. And that's pretty easy. They get it down pretty fast. So yeah, I mean, I would be a collar around the house person. The other thing is too, you can get a collar and clip to the collar if you need to also, like
it does have that. It's not quite as, I don't like the idea of having to have
it's
her
not
on
as
a leash
secure
on the
because they can back
collar.
it out.
She can back it out, and also just seems a little bit uncomfortable. But again, that would never be for anything other than a little bit of like going out to the bathroom. When I take her on a walk, she'd always have a collar. And also now that she's bigger, her harness now is it's bulkier, like they're the littler ones were like less. Now it sort of seems like she's in like sort of a tactical vest. Anyway, we're getting far away from cleaning, other than to say that I do clean that device from time to time. I throw it in the washing machine. All right, I think that's enough on dog baths, unless you have any other advice for me. If any listeners have any good dog bathing stories or advice, you know how to get a hold of us.
It's my sister's whole job, so if you're listening,
that's right. Get at us.
Your grooming stuff.
In fact, I don't think that I've been doing a good job of giving out our contact information at the beginning of the show, although this would not be considered the beginning. Our phone number is 508-469-9274. That's 508-HOW-WASH. You can also email us a voice memo at spotlesspod@gmail.com or on Instagram and YouTube at spotlesspod, and the website is spotlesspod.com. We got a voicemail from Kathy in Olympia regarding the next topic that I wanted to broach with you, which is also dog related. Today is a all dog show. We told you this was coming for a while, which is go bags. At least that's what we call the bag that we set up pretty early on when we got Lucy, realizing, when we take her out into the world with us, there is a set of things that we are always going to need. And especially when I was newer with her, I really clung to the idea of this bag as being very necessary, because like I was always like, what if I take her for a walk and then something happens and we get sidelined somewhere and I didn't bring water for her, and I'm giving her CPR because I let my dog. There are people are even worse. People are judging me because I don't have water for my poor dog, and so I cannot ever leave the house without a collapsible bowl and some water. And so what I did was I brought down to the studio here our go bag for the dog, which right now I'm going to show it to you. It's a very classic canvas New Yorker tote bag. Like, could you be more of a cliche? I don't know how we ended up with this one, but here it is.
That's the most dual income, no kids bag I've ever seen.
Right, which I actually like the looks of, but you know what I've learned is I don't think that a go bag should be a tote bag.
It should.
I had to take her on a walk in a new park where I wasn't sure what to expect, so I took this with me, but she was young and all over the place, and I'm having to wrangle her, and I'm trying to slip this thing over my shoulder like this, and it was just like another thing that was really hard to wrangle. I think I need to replace this with like one of those really small little backpacks or something.
Yes. So mine are upstairs. I meant to bring them down. I don't have it. There are several that I have several. So I'm going to let me send you a link.
Okay.
To one of the ones that I have,
bag
so you can
use?
see it. Yes. So Lola actually has 2 different outfits for her 2 different walks of the day because we have different needs. So her morning or like early day outing is usually just around the corner. We're not going all the way to a place. We're just sort of, getting the lay of the land. So for that one, I have her on her she has quite a long leash that I just clip to myself. And then like I'm hands-free. I'm usually working during that and we are just going around the corner. So that one, she has a long one. And because also on that outing of the day, we almost always are feeding the crows. It is often a crow feeding situation. Maybe they don't even make this anymore. So what I have for her is a treat pouch and it clips to the leash.
I got one of those, yeah.
So and this one that I have.
Is it a zipper, though? I want one. My friend has one where you just sort of pinch it and it opens. I want one of those.
They have those. Ours has a zipper. But the nice thing is, too, it's a zipper on the top, and then it has a side zipper pocket. And so I can hold a lot of stuff in the side zipper pocket. And if I'm to list off the things that I take for her outings, in the morning one, all we really need is snacks and bags. And that's like kind of all we need, right? So we have that one. That's a treat bag with a little side thing. In that side zipper, I do have a hand sanitizer and like a little hand sanitizer. And sometimes I'll have a little sunscreen or like bug stick, like whatever, just in case I need it.
Dog sunscreen or you sunscreen?
No, me sunscreen. She doesn't need sunscreen.
Oh, I was like, I didn't know that was a thing.
No, I've never sunscreened a dog before. I don't think they really need it. I know pigs need it, but that's unrelated. That's how come pigs roll in mud. It's because they get sunscreen.
The next show that we do.
That's why pigs wallow. And
really?
Yeah, it's for sun protection.
I thought it was because they didn't want the Terminator to find them, or not Terminator. Now I'm getting my movies confused. What did I just say before? What is the movie where he has to dress up the Predator?
Yes,
the Predator can't see you if you're covered in mud. Great job, Andrew.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're killing it. The other one we have is a fanny pack, basically like a hip bag, and I wear it
that's
across
probably
my
what
body.
I need. Crossbody bag.
Here's the thing about the tote bag that you will find. One, when you have a coat on, that is going to be falling off your shoulders all the time.
Yeah, even without a coat, I can barely.
But even without it, yes, having it on your shoulders really hard. When you bend down to pick up a dog poop or something, you don't want your bag sliding off of you, falling forward,
all over the place.
Yes, so I have a little zippy bag that I wear, and that one has snacks. It has, and then this is where like our afternoon outing where we go places, like our actual go bag. That one has snacks, sunscreen, a bug stick, a little chafe stick if I'm wearing shorts. Sometimes I need a little chafey stick for me.
Okay, so so just to be very clear, half of the stuff is for you. Sunscreen, chafe stick, and bug stuff is all for you.
Lip balm is also for me.
Okay, and lip balm, okay.
Some people carry like mace. Some people carry like a pepper spray or something with them. I don't. I do have a little stabby personal defense thing because I do often walk her at night. That is clipped onto the thing. And
I, of course, have my pole saw.
Obviously, you're carrying your pole saw. And then the other things that we'll have in there for her is I will usually have, what else do we have? When we go a place, I will bring a long chew a lot of times, like a bully stick or something for her to work on if we're going to like a bar and we're going to be sitting and watching a game. A collapsible water dish, which mine has a carabiner on it, so I can clip it to the outside, so I'm never rooting around. I often bring an extra phone charger. That's usually in my go bag.
For her, for you?
Well, sometimes she needs to charge her devices too. You never know.
Okay, yeah,
and what else do we have? I think that's mostly it. So the key is, there's a few decisions.
One, can I go through my bag?
Yes.
Can you judge my bag? Can I go through my bag and then you can judge it? Okay.
Yes.
So here's what we got going on in here. Dog wipes.
Yes.
These are like, disposable dog wipes with a little bit of moisture. These are important to me because I went for a walk with her one time, and I don't want to tell you what I think got on her head, and I can't figure out how it possibly could have gotten on her head, but there was a substance on her head that I recognized as very, very disgusting. And we were out on a walk maybe a mile, maybe a half a mile away from home when I realized this, and then I touched it with my hand, and I said, that feels like what I think it is, and I am freaking out now, and I did not have anything. So I ran to the store. These happen to be Earth Bath brand hypoallergenic grooming wipes. This is the big package. I keep it in the go bag, but when I just go on morning walks with her, I have taken about I don't know, 5 or 10 of these, put them in a Ziploc bag that I keep by the door, and I just slip those into my back pocket. But the big bag goes in the go bag.
So that is a lot of times what my hand sanitizer is for. And because oftentimes, not always, but often, Lola is out in the world wearing a little bandana. In part because she's a cattle dog and it looks cute. And cattle dogs and bandanas go together like peanut butter and jelly. But also because I can wipe things up with it. Like she wears functionally a bib much of the time. That's a good idea. And then what I can do is I can like wet it with hand sanitizer and then like wipe her or like get whatever it is off of her because she is also a grimy, disgusting dog.
So yeah, because I'm gonna double. Now keep in mind this is our to-go bag. So this has like, if we just need to grab something and we don't know what we need, we just try to keep this stocked all the time. This has more stuff than we need. This is not our daily walk bag, but this is like, hey, we're going to the park or something, just grab the bag. Because we also do have just a towel.
A towel. Smart.
A towel. And here, in fact, this one I think Genevieve bought as a lark. It says something on there. Can you see it if I pull it?
It's got a bird on it.
It's got a bird and like and then it says welcome spring. It says welcome spring on it. So just like for more of a standard, if I just need to wipe her off or something, I got that. And then toys. I got a couple of toys in here. We got a squeaky. This is a dragon.
Oh my
God,
cute.
and it's kind of got a good texture to it. So this is like, we got different things with different texture. And I feel like this is one that kind of serves the purpose. It's not like to throw around, but maybe to help her calm down.
A buddy.
You're right. A bully stick would be better. We also have a ball in case we do go to a park or something. This is like a Dunlop tennis ball. And then the water dish that you described, the collapsible water dish. This does not have the carabiner.
It has a ring though, so you could
put one on if I wanted to. In fact, the ring is in the shape of a heart.
Cute. We love our dogs. So one of the nice things about having it on a carabiner and having it outside of the bag is that it can dry off.
Yeah, that's true.
So you don't have to collapse it up and put it in the bag wet. So there's that.
In fact, the other thing that we have in here is a large carabiner.
Yep.
It wouldn't fit on that, but this is in case we are in a situation where she's on her leash, but we need to just like, let's say we're at the park or something, and we just need to wrap her leash around a park bench or something like that, or just like, kind of give her turn her leash into more of a lead. This was an early on thing. In fact, when she was so new that she wasn't even allowed to be on the ground at a hardware store because of various, she wasn't fully vaccinated, I had to put her in a cart, in the shopping cart at Lowe's while I went around and bought this. I remember I have a very fond memory of shopping for this with her.
Man, you will never get more use out of a carabiner than for your dog because I have clipped onto her leash. These are the things I'll just clip. So one of the things I was going to ask you is you have to decide what kind of person you are. The kind of person who makes your dog carry their own shit, or the kind of person who carries it for them. And I mean that they're literal turds, but also just their stuff. So on her leash is clipped the dog bag holder.
Yeah, we have that too.
The treat bag. And then because I have it on the long leash, I'll wear it. Like I will and so you can either clip it and then you can wear the leash so you can be hands-free. Okay. Obviously, this is if you have a dog that's not pulling or, like an older dog. Lola's a very good walker, so I can just wear her clipped like that. And then I have everything clipped on so I'm not carrying anything and I can like move more easily. You also can clip things to your dog, to their halter, and make them carry stuff. A poop bag thing that's just...
I'm not going to make her carry her own feces.
You can. They have the.
No, I'm
they
not
have
going
a little.
to.
Okay. I'm not going to.
I mean, I don't want to. Anyway, luckily, we've been very lucky so far in that she seems to prefer to go to the bathroom at home. She is not, as far as I know.
She really is your child.
Gone number 2. I think maybe with Genevieve, and it's probably true that Genevieve takes her on more adventures, more like long day adventures. I think maybe she went number 2 at a barbecue or something one time or something. But for the most part, she likes to do that close to home.
Sure. Good for her.
Which I associate with. Like, I'm not going over to the rodent's house.
I was going to say, you really did give birth to this dog.
Anyway. But
what
just so
you
know,
there?
on the leash, we do have exactly what we described. For any walk, she has on her leash the roll of poop bags in a little container that's shaped like a bone.
Yep.
Because dogs like bones. and potentially even the same little treat bag that you have. It attaches. It's got a little zip around the top like a half moon. And then I keep a few wipes in my back pocket. That's just like on the go. Sometimes we have a water bottle. This is actually a plastic water bottle just from the store. Just because the bowl is no good unless there's water with it. And yes, I try to have a water bottle with me anyway, but just in case of emergency, I just never want to find myself in a position where we do not have water. So always a water bottle. A thing of treats. This is less handy. This is just like a little little Tupperware thing that I got at the store that was full of treats.
I often keep our treats in glass jars in bags and around our home, which now has made it so that anytime I open a jar, she thinks it could be for her.
Oh, yeah.
Which is hard for her because I do also drink coffee out of a jar.
Yeah.
And so then she's like, but it's for me. It's
You're like, you don't want this.
Not every jar is for you.
Or whatever it is. All right. Also, so just some backup
rolls,
poop bags. Just, but again, that's usually going to be on the leash, the actual container for it. Oh, this is not good. Don't judge me for this. Genevieve was at some work event. You know that hacky sacking is back in? It's very popular with
I
the
have
youth.
heard. It's because part of it's having an anniversary. There's been like a whole shitty chat about about hacky sack.
So Genevieve was at some work event. Of course, she works for a university, so maybe that is an indicator of what the youth are up to. So she got some sort of leather hacky sack with the University of Washington.
Oh, my God.
Shaped like a soccer ball, which I think Lucy has chewed on a little bit, but we don't want to go too far on this because she'll just open it up and it'll be dangerous. Yeah,
you don't want her eating whatever's in there.
Only other thing. Oh, God. Well, there's a lot of dirt and some kibble in the bottom of this thing.
Yeah,
Holy shit,
they get gross. Whatever it is that you end up using, you really need to... you're clicker training her.
This is a clicker trainer thing. Genevieve's been doing that more than me, but you can wear it on your wrist and on a walk. Like, let's go, Lucy. That's the command. Let's go, Lucy.
Does she use it?
She's pretty good at it. Like, I got to say, we took her to this class where we learned a lot of good lessons, but then I've been pretty lazy about implementing them. And it's getting to a point where I feel really bad about it because she really needs to learn to come when she's called. She really sees it like she does not come when she's called, and that is something that is going to be very bad in my life if we can't get her to come when she's called.
Yes.
That's my main source of anxiety around her right now.
Yeah, that's a big one. And it is important to, make sure your dog knows their own name. That's and a lot of dogs actually don't necessarily know their name or react to their name. But she's pretty food motivated, right? So she should be pretty easy.
Not especially. She's okay food. She's not like she totally rejects it, but sometimes at a meal you can feed her and she'll let it sit in her bowl for an hour before she eats it. And then some treats, she likes some treats, but she's not obsessed in the way, which is kind of good in a lot of ways, but for training it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Is there anything that she is very into?
My jokes. Like the listeners of this show and you, she loves my jokes, my dad humor. So that's how I sort of try.
So that's how you train her, is by giving her an extra knock joke when she's well behaved.
That's exactly right. No, I don't have anything again. So there are two things that we're going to try. She needs to learn how to come when we say Lucy come, but then also. As they taught us in puppy kindergarten, then you need to really train her for an emergency come sort of and they're choose a word for that, and Genevieve and I have chosen the word Mayday. I don't think she knows it yet, but that's the type of training where it's kind of when you practice the Mayday, then you are basically giving her a feast of sliced turkey or whatever it is that is just going to be oh my God, because if she finds herself face to face with a bear and we need her to come or something like that, she needs to understand this is a huge moment. So you need to get out of there and come
100%. Yeah. And that's, again, if there is something she does like a little piece of cheese or something that is extra exciting, then it's pretty easy once they just get used to it.
Oh, by the way, though, I did say that we put a call out for listeners to tell us what's in their go bags for their dogs, and we did get one voicemail, and this is from Kathy in Olympia. Let's see how much our bags match Kathy's.
Hi, this is Kathy from Olympia. You recently asked about items for dogs on the go. I wanted to tell you about a few of my favorites. I always have a collapsible silicone dog dish. My dog is small, and I can put it in my pocket when I take a long walk, and we can just share a water bottle. I keep it in the car, so it's handy. I always have a bottle of water in the car, too, and some hand sanitizer in the door pocket. I have a dedicated dog blanket in the car. It's easy to wash, and it comes in handy everywhere. My sister just borrowed it when we were out for a fire pit night, and she was underdressed. I keep a hand towel in a pocket of the car so I can do a quick paw wipe if he's wet or dirty. And last, if you ever travel overnight with Lucy, try to throw in a twin-size cotton flat sheet. It's great to drape over the bed or whatever if you can't keep her off the furniture. And it also comes in handy for something to sit on at a park or a beach or when you're out. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you'll love getting out with Lucy.
Yes.
Bye.
It has been a lot of fun, and like having these adventures. Genevieve tends to be the person who sort of takes the lead on, like, you know, taking Lucy for like a really long walk. Genevieve walked her all the way to, is it Carkeek Park, which is like 4 miles away from us. Did a 4-mile walk, including over the walking bridge over Aurora and those like kind of those stairs that are not fully
How'd she
built.
do?
You know what I mean? She did
Yeah.
great, apparently. She just like kept moving, and again, like Genevieve kind of takes her on the more hardy kind of adventures. The next big adventure that I'm very excited about that we haven't tried yet is the E-Line. I want a bus dog, and we got to get this girl used to. She does not seem to be cowed very easily. You know, it's just a matter of her getting used to things. Like, it took her a while to get used to jumping up into the car seats, but now even when she wants to stay out in the Home Depot parking lot and play more, eventually I'm just like, come on, Lucy, get in here. And she'll just on her own jump right into the back seat, which is really good. So I know that eventually she'll just be like one of those awesome bus dogs that you see and that you want to pet. How hard is it to not pet a dog on the bus?
I mean, I have to see people struggle with it with my dog every day because people really want to pet Lola, and I'm always like, you can try, but you might not like it.
What does it mean when Lola doesn't? First of all, I didn't realize are you taking the bus a lot in Portland?
She, not as much, not like back in the day. Like, I used to ride the bus with my little dog several times a week. Like, Indy and I were on the bus all the time. He really liked the bus. He would try and get on a bus if it was just stopping near us on a walk. He would often be like, oh, nope, this bus for me. Like, he got to the point where he loved the bus.
Oh, I love that.
And he would just sit. You know, he was like so well behaved. Lola has not ridden the bus yet. We just don't. It hasn't been part of like our sort of system.
Yeah.
We walk a lot. She walks a lot.
But you were on the bus with Indy, you would probably scoop him up, right? He wasn't big enough to get on the bus, so you would scoop him up. And then what were your interactions like with people? Because I know that, I mean, I've made eyes at dogs so many times on the bus, but I'm also like, I don't want to make this person deal with another person who wants to pet their dog.
Yep.
I don't know. Most people probably like it, but I just don't know. I don't want to get in somebody's space if they're just like on their phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's so many times I'm just like, oh my God, I want to pet that. And first of all, we're all stuck on this bus together.
Yeah.
And
What else am I
going
to do?
Beast onto the bus. I want to play with the beast. But what was your experience like as somebody with a dog? Were people always interrupting you? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
A lot of times people wanted to say hi to him, which makes sense because he also was very cute and he was like, you know, kind of friendly. And he really did like everybody. So he was always happy to meet people. I never worried about him meeting anybody. I find that most of the time, I mean, a lot of times the bus was crowded. And so like they were, you know, everyone's sort of doing their own thing. I do think people in Seattle had less interest in meeting a dog than in Portland because I really can't go anywhere with Lola and not have someone want to meet her and talk to her. But yeah, Indy, he would usually sit on my lap or he would sit in the seat next to me if it wasn't crowded because he was little. But I've seen plenty of dogs who just like hang out under the seat.
Yeah, Lucy would be that size. She would just have to sit on the floor next to us. But she's such a Lucy is for anybody who wants to picture her, she's just like I always say that she looks like a cartoon dog. She just looks like a brown dog. She's just the definition of a dog. She's got a dog face. She does have a curly tail, which is like, I guess that's from some tiny bit of chow chow she has or something, but she's like an amalgam of like at least 22 different breeds. She just doesn't have any kind of like, she doesn't have any like specific kind of breed forward look to her.
She looks like the emoji of the tan dog. Like
yes,
the tan
she
dog
does.
emoji is what she
Genevieve
looks
thinks
like.
she looks a little bit like Santa's little helper, only like not quite a race dog, but a little bit like that in the face, sort of.
I
So-
could see that. That's not incorrect also.
So people do like to talk to her. In fact, leaving puppy kindergarten. Now, this is going back a couple of months, so she was probably especially cute because she was younger. But we got into the car. This is right in the heart of Ballard, right? I think that's where this place was. Maybe Fremont. I'm sorry. And so kind of quasi-residential, quasi-business, but not like a place where there's like tons of bars along the street or whatever. But right in the kind of the heart of the area, we're leaving. We get in the car together, and some drunk guy, I mean, and clearly drunk, and not like especially rowdy or anything, but just like a young man who I don't know if he was doing day drinking, where he was coming from, what his situation was. But we were already in the car. Like, I'm in the driver's seat. Genevieve's in the back seat because at this point Lucy had her little dog bed up front and she was strapped in. And we're ready to pull away. And our window is rolled up. Her window is rolled up. But the guy just stops and sees her through the passenger window. And he's on the sidewalk. And he's like, oh, and he's making eyes at her, and then he's kind of like, can I? And we're like, all right. So we like roll down the window and just let him pet her. And so anyway, that was a very good feeling.
Oh,
this drunk guy the drunk guy just being like, I just need to pet this dog right now. This is what I need.
Sometimes you just need to pet a dog. You know what is very surprising to me? And I promise someday we'll get to something having to do with cleaning, but it's very surprising to me how many children literally will say, aw, at a dog.
Yeah, right? Yes.
It's like, again, speaking of like cartoon, it's like a cartoon noise, and children will make it.
Yes.
I have heard so many children literally make that, and I've never made that noise in my life that I know of.
Well,
Certainly not in my adult life.
Did.
But children, like, you will be walking, and you'll just hear a kid be like, and you're like, oh, God, they're looking at my dog. I know it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so listen,
but drunk are similar.
we did get far away from our mission of talking about cleaning. I mean, we talked about dog bathing a bit at the top of the show, but we kind of said that this was coming kind of a dog bottle episode, if you will. But since you brought that up, I'm going to tell you one quick anecdote, and then we got to get out of here. But I've only been to the dog park one time so far, and it was with Genevieve and Lucy. I'm a little bit nervous. Like, I just don't know dogs that well, and so to take Lucy by herself, especially to an off-leash park, and, like, I still am learning the signs of, like, what's play and when does play go too far, and how do I, like, kind of get involved in, like, the dogs when they're wrestling or whatever. So I have no experience with this. Genevieve takes me to this wonderful dog park up in North Seattle. I think I already asked you about it, Hannah, maybe off air, and you said you were unfamiliar. But it's really great. It's actually like it's really well covered with trees, and so you're always in the shade. And it's like they actually have carved out little trails and stuff, like so the dogs can off leash like run these trails. But then there's a kind of a common area in the front. It is perfect. I'm not trying to withhold. I'm just blanking on the name of it. You don't happen to remember me talking about this to you. It's like Northland or North Park or something like that. If I can figure it out on the fly, I'll let you know. But all of that is to say, I'm sitting there and I'm meeting so many people and I'm meeting so many dogs. I actually have the thought I should have been coming here before I even had a dog. That might be a little bit creepy, but it was such a wonderful experience. And it happened to be an evening of a day where Vives and I were both like kind of having some issues with kind of the contractors who were working here, and we're both in we both had, if you looked at us closely, you could probably see dark clouds hanging over both of our heads.
Yeah.
And it would have been a very easy day to just be like, you know what, let's just stay home and like let's get into that light beer early or whatever. But instead I was like, do you still want to go to that? Let's go to that dog park you mentioned earlier. And we went, and I'm so glad we did. It was such a life affirming, just all my troubles melted away, honestly, as we ran into somebody we knew there and his dog. We met a whole bunch of new people. But the absolute best part was this woman comes in with her son, and they do not have a dog. Apparently they live nearby. They were playing in the park, you know, like the human part of the park or whatever. And the boy saw the dogs and wanted to come play. And I guess he really wants a dog. What we learn is they're French. He's growing up, I guess, French-American. She has a bit of an accent. She says, we can't get a dog, so we have to travel home, you know, like, or travel to France like for a month out of every year or whatever. This little boy is, somewhere between 3 and 4 years old or something. And he's just like a little, in the same way I was describing Lucy as just a dog, this was just a little boy. Just like a sweet, sweet little boy, like out of like a 1950s TV show or something like that.
He was playing Jax.
And he's playing, he seemed like that. And he's kind of playing with some of the other dogs, and then he comes over and he meets Lucy. And of course, I grew up being afraid of dogs, and so my instinct is always like, okay, Lucy, don't attack him, don't eat him, he's not dinner. Now, Lucy's never shown any aggression in her life, but like, I'm just kind of like, how is she going to do? And Genevieve always says she's really great around children, and she is. And she just does such a good job of like meeting kind of reading the room and sort of meeting the energy of the kid. And so Lucy and this little French boy become best friends. And he speaks English and French. He talks to his mom sometimes in French, but he's speaking to us and Lucy in English. And he's just going around being like, he's throwing Lucy's ball, but then if Lucy can't track it or follow, be like, Lucy, and he'll put his one arm on his side, like kind of arm akimbo, and point with his other. Lucy, it is over there. And like by the like, I think I've said this to Luke on TBTL. I said, like, if I ever had to give up Lucy, there's only one person I would possibly give her to, and it would be this little boy, like, because he became best. Like, they were on each other's level. They were like walking around, running around. They were just like, they needed each other so bad. It was the cutest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
So cute.
I don't even have words to kind of complete this story, but it was so special.
Okay, people like that who obviously need a dog in their life but travel, I will always tell them, try fostering. Try fostering. Let your little boy get to know dogs, but know that, like, we're just going to have this dog for a month. We're just taking care of this dog. You think it is, but at the same time, like, there is something about if you know that another one is going to come along, there is, like, something about that novelty of, like, ooh, this dog sometimes and this dog. And then depending on who adopts them, like, can you go see them again, right? Like, I know people who stay in relationships with their fosters. Like, and so many dogs need temporary care. Now, I sent you, Andrew, several links of, like, bags and then also a dog blanket from a company we really like. I'm going to put some links in today's show like page on spotlesspod.com with some of just like the things that I like. Again, it's never affiliate links. We don't get paid, but we have a blanket from a brand called Wilder Dog that we really like. It is kind of waterproof. It's a really good inside-outside blanket. It's very easy to wash. It's a dog blanket. We love it.
Oh, I love that. Great. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
And they have,
if it looks like I'm ignoring you, by the way, I'm just looking to see if I can find a photo of the dog park sign that I took while I was there. I can't seem to, because I knew I was going to forget it.
Because, yes, a blanket is a good thing to have. A
that's a
packable
great
blanket
idea.
is really nice. I do keep in my car a designated dog towel that is, like, regrettably, it is microfiber, but it does help dry her quickly. So we do have one of those. I keep a large water jug in my car for when we go places. And
that's smart.
The wipes are a smart, good thing to have, but a towel and some hand sanitizer can also do you in a pinch. And the other thing that is very important, though, that I will say in a treat bag, and I only am thinking about this because I talked about it with a friend of mine a while back, is you want one that is... You want it to be water resistant, not because of the water getting into the treat bag, but because if it is water resistant and you have any dog treats that are greasy at all, which sometimes they are, dog treats can sometimes be greasy, you want a pouch or a bag that keeps that away from your clothes.
Yeah.
Because my friend Katie was telling me that she had a dog treat pouch of some sort. And it had like chewy, meaty treats in it, but they got like grease stains on her shirt from the bag.
Oh, that's
because it
gross.
went through the bag. Yeah. So you want a bag that has like some sort of like a plasticky liner or somehow keeps the treats away from your clothing. That's why you want a treat bag.
Or if your water bottle leaks in there or something too.
100%. Yeah. And then that also makes it easier to clean because once you empty it out, you just swish water around, dump it out, and it's like, it's fine. So ease of cleaning is a big one when it comes to dog stuff.
I need to go clean this tote bag right now because when I pulled everything out of it, I saw some stuff in the bottom.
Make sure you turn it inside out first, because to protect the outside of it and to make sure the inside actually gets cleaned.
And it's the inside that really needs the cleaning.
Correct. So if you're washing your tote bags or your dog bags, turn them bitches inside out. And don't forget to wash your leashes and your halters.
Oh, I wash
very
my
easy to forget.
All the time. Yeah.
It can be really easy. It can sometimes be a problem because if you're like a certain dog I know, if you go to get the leash and the halter and you're not going somewhere. She was
gesturing towards Lola.
Yeah. She's passed out right now, where she often is. But
so the first leash we got her, the first like canvas leash we got her was this great yellow leash, which was really, I loved it. And all the photos of her as a little puppy on this yellow leash were delightful and it was very sunny, but it obviously showed dirt really quickly too. And I'm just obsessed with not having that. So I washed this leash a lot. In the early days, I was like, I would take her outside. Then knowing we would need it for a little bit, I'd bring it inside. I'd soak it in the sink, let the sink water get all dirty and gross, and then pull it out and then try to dry it as much as possible. Well, I was taking her to the vet for her rabies vaccination or something, and I realized, this thing is dirty. I'm going to wash it. So I washed it and tried to dry it out, but it didn't dry enough by the time we got there. And so here I am in the vet waiting room, and then the vet tech comes out and is ready to take her back for her shot, and I have to hand her a leash that is clearly still very damp. Now, it looks very clean, but I had to say to her, not unlike when you shake somebody's hand and you just wash your hands, I had to say, just so you know, this leash is wet. Yep. But I need you to know that it's wet because I just cleaned it. I'm so sorry. And she laughed, and she's like, okay, thank you. That's good to know. I could tell that she was, when I said this leash, I could see something in her face. She's like, oh, no, what about this leash?
Yep. You can also get water-resistant leashes. They do make, neoprene, maybe?
Yeah.
There's rubber leashes you can get, too. Yeah. Because one thing you will also possibly experience is with your nylon or your the webbed leash, just because we live in the Northwest, it'll get wet stinky.
Yeah.
Even if it's not dirty, just if it's wet and it dries and it's wet and it dries, it'll get that mildewy kind of smell, which is unpleasant.
Well, this one I washed it so many times it's starting to get a little frayed anyway. So she's got a new main leash now, and we're keeping that as the basement leash. Whatever. We're all
end up with doubles and triples
slowly changing our lives as we realize, we need a bone downstairs if she's going to be downstairs with her.
We have at least 3 dog beds. There's just beds on beds in this house because we're like, she might need a bed.
Anyway, it's fun. Thanks everybody for putting up with Dog Talk. I understand that if you do not have a dog, have no interest in dogs, this might not have been for you. But
also, real quick, this is our 200th episode.
Oh my goodness, we were supposed to say something at the top of the show. Happy birthday. I think.
Happy birthday, Spotless.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being a part of this journey. Here's to 200 more. We will talk to you in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, here's how you can get a hold of us.
You've been listening to the Spotless Podcast. If you have a question for Hannah and Andrew or some cleaning advice, call the Spotline at 508-HOW-WASH. That's 508-469-9274. You can also email them at spotlesspod@gmail.com. We'll be back soon. But until then, always remember, life is messy, but it doesn't have to be.